okay, I'm going to take the money and run. I've almost doubled my Bitcoin account, and I'm just going to get out of everything I'm in. And I don't have any scripts in here, so I'll show you the stuff that I put on the internet. There was this MT4 folder with scripts in it. So what you have to do is go into File and open up the your demo or your account. Open Data folder, and when you see MQL4 here, you're going to take what I put on the internet, and which is the scripts for the drag and drop scripts. So that's going to be it'll say drag and drop. I don't know if I put a date on it or not, but you're going to drag that onto the into this folder. So you have to have both of these. You have to move this down a little bit to get to the. So you can see both at the same time here. So you can, I right mouse click on here because I'm not sure if Windows is so fucking written so, like shit so badly that you can't tell whether it's going to be a copy or move, and I hate to undo stuff. So out of paranoia, I have right mouse click this thing and drag, because then it gives you the option of what you want to do, because there's like, it picks weird defaults. See, it's copy to as the default, but if it's a move, then I just like, I just come unwrap. So you can move or copy here when you let off, and I'm going to copy it here. It should go into that. It should overwrite what's in there. It'll ask me maybe. I'll say, do you want to do that? And I'll say, yeah. Just replace it. And there's no scripts anymore in MT4. The default, all they give you is you go to scripts, all you get is this period converter and the, what's it called? That's some other stupid thing. That's it. Just, and this is the cache. Every time you boot, it's kind of rewriting this is how the stuff launches. So the reason why I did that is because I want to run the close all profits key and just get out, because I'm in so many tickets. I'm in, I don't even know, like 50 tickets, so I get out of everything all at once. So what I can do is double click and open up one of these files, and you're going to double click on the second file because this is the actual code. This will just open up like some like after you compile, you end up with this execution file, but this is the actual source code. So you got to go to the source, as they say. Okay. Classic. It's like religious speak almost. Got to go to the source. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so I'm waiting for that to load. Of course, it's going to take forever. I'm just trying to get around the reboot, I guess, but maybe we'll just reboot. See, when you open up one of these raw scripts, it's going to look for a MetaTrader. I got a wrong screen here, maybe. It's going to take forever to find the file, the editor. Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm going to compile that, and it should compile onto the platform and show up in the navigator. Hold down Control key, hit N. Navigator comes up. Go to scripts. I usually put everything on the right side. I don't know why. I feel it's like the stick shift in my car. Of course, if you're in Britain, it's probably on the left side. And here I'm going to go to the. Now they all showed up, which means they've all been compiled. Just because I compiled one, it kind of compiled everything. I still can't believe this is a 24/7 market. I wish somebody would have told me, because being a trading addict, I could have been partying all weekend. But see, you learn something every day, and some of the stuff you come across, you know, like when I heard there was a microwave ovens, I just found out. I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, don't put your cat in there. I'm like, oh boy, I was just ready to put the cat in the oven. Man, I'm so glad you told me. There's you can trade the 5-minute, the spread's a little brutal, right? But you can make money all fucking week. There's no excuse for people now. You can still see the same patterns. You could trade on a demo. You can trade. There's no reason to stop this Friday. Oh, thank God it's Friday. I get depressed when it's Friday, honestly. I just am a workaholic, I guess. So it's working against me in trading because the market's not always a good trade. So you can overtrade. I like to overtrade because I like to execute. I'm good at trade. So I'm above water on every trade right now. Every trade was manually placed without any fucking this or that, right? And if I counted all the tickets I'm in, now I don't even know why they gave me $50 million in this demo. Apparently people are blowing this shit up all day long, but I'm up 1 mil, mind you, on this one trade here. Go figure. It's pretty funny, right? Now, would this change your life? No, I'd still be as angry as I am. Like, I'll still be the same asshole tomorrow I am today. It doesn't matter how much money you make. But isn't it amazing? Like, I could just take that one ticket off and go have a beer, but I have exposure to this market going up. Am I impatient getting out here? Well, I did the vertical price analysis. I've come up with the fact that where I'm at in the picture right now, if I do max zoom out, this would be like a empowered trading chart. Let's see, shit. Here you go. It reminds me of a gold chart, right? Anything below here, this is the when we come below here, this is the trading, and we're coming into choppy trading territory. So should I dump everything and put buy limits at 1825? Should I, you think that this is a good trade? Like, see, this is the trade I'm talking about. You have to see the trade before it happens, but not in a one price method. You need to have a spectrum entry because you don't know where the customers are. They're in a zone. They're not at an exact price. And this is the 4-hour chart. You know, there's a huge, people are just going to gobble this up for a scalp here. So you just have to picture, you need some kind of scenario. How many times do you think we could dip in and out of this price? Like now we've established a psychotic high at almost 28 on Bitcoin. We pull back some, this is just insane volatility. Brought on partly in the fact that once you go here, nobody knows what's worth. This is why this is why gold spiked. People are like, not to mention the top bottom here on the 4-hour. Look at that run. But you have to be aware that now the game's changed. This is real shit. People are I'm in a demo here, but can you imagine? And if you were even a child would have noticed the monthly. Now, you would have waited how long for this short? I mean, it's just incredible, right? It's incredible. Here, we're going to go choppy now. Party's over. One thing you know here is that, yeah, we can still keep dripping down. And we probably will. Here's where it goes. Like, if you're really in this big right now you want to make... You want to make another 25 million, so you're going to cut back. You made 48 million. Now you're like, you know what? The account's padded. Let me just trade like a little old lady from Pasadena, and just let me take it easy. Okay, just dump the whole thing right now. Let's go. I'm going to go out and get some kind of libations. Okay? And I don't know if the top at the bottom of the hour makes any sense to this market. Maybe it does. But see, I'm in my profit window, right? Anything below this doji, you see this doji? And anything this is the trading window we're starting to come into now. So I'm going to dump everything. And see how quickly this broker unloads. I'm testing out this, what's her name? It's Evolve. Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out. You never see real money. It's the only way to go if you have Bitcoin. Because if you got to convert, every time you convert, you're paying some exchange spread that is worse than what you see on a chart. Think the bank's 500 pips. If you go to the bank, it's 500 pips Canadian to US. So that's a bad trade. That's a rugged spread with real money, no leverage. No leverage of 500 pip spread. Who's doing that trade, right? So people are staying in their hometown. I go to the trade thing, open this up. I'm going to pull the trigger here. I should have pulled it a minute ago. I was at 48 million. I was kind of pissed off here now already. Should I go to the 5-minute chart? No. See, there's a buy. So let's get the fuck out. It's going up. Close all profits. I don't see it moving. Okay. Script doesn't run. Oh, maybe I got to turn on my... see, there's another fuck up. Allow automated trading. Okay. See, I'm losing money. God damn it. Look at that. Some guy had the same problem there. I posted his shit. Okay. Look at this margin evaporate. That's fucking dumping fast. I'm in psychotic amounts of... Oh, they're big trades, actually. I'm only not psychotic. I normally trade library. So total dump, okay? Okay, I double the account. Now what? I want to see if some of these drops are going to run. I don't know if the pips are right on this because these are written for Forex. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the daily. Start putting in some orders here. So anything in here is fair game. You zoom out to see that, to capture that low bar. Okay, so here's the frame. Some guys talking about risk frame. This is the risk frame. Now watch it tank that I got out. See, that's the market. That's what the market thinks of me. We're in that window though. Anything below here is now this price does this look very too close now all of a sudden. So I'm going to put this order all night long here, all day. I'm going to risk 30 pips, whatever that is, to make 70. Oh, fuck, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I got to rewrite that script. See, here's the problem. These scripts are designed for Forex, and I got to have gold scripts for this. The decimal point's so far away. This is, so you can't just take these scripts and run them on Bitcoin. Another problem. You got to rewrite them. So what you got to do is open up this 2020, and you have to rename it first, because you got to make the name first and edit so you don't end up destroying this one. And I'll just put in there, I'll just call it BC. Everything would be BC on this series. So BC 2020 would mean, well, we'll just rewrite. We'll just keep adding zeros to here till we get a good drop. So we'll make this 200 pips to 200 pips. It's probably not enough. It might just be a scalp on this chart. So this comes up as a BC. Now let's drop it right here. It's still too tight. It needs to be, I think that's why, you know, yeah, see, there's too many decimals after this dot, so I don't even get what I'm looking at here. Maybe this is, I don't know, I don't understand. See, math's not my, this has to be a psychotic number here. To me, it looks like. I put 20 grand in there. Because I'm still not seeing the damn stop and profit. It's too fucking close. Here, I can close all open and pendings and clear off all those orders that don't have stops up there also. So it's just maintenance, order maintenance. So how do you manage all these scripts, right? Here, close all. This is in my free whatever thing. And of course, delete all objects, right? So you start off with a clean slate every time. You should be able to find your setup within moments here. You're looking for a doji, and that's a pivot. Those aren't floor pivots based on high-low close and some fucking bullshit math. You can't over fucking think this stuff. This is a hammer, small body. It's still a doji. Will you ever see that price? You may never see that price the rest of your life. Look at gold. You think you'll see 1,800 on gold again? Maybe not in your life. Maybe not in my lifetime. Maybe yours. You know, you gotta, when gold hit 800, you know, it dripped down to 275. It didn't see 800 for another, was it 10 years? You're seeing history here, man. We've actually got a president that has his fucking shit together. He's actually working. So the other guy was golfing. This guy's working. You gotta love it. I'm a workaholic, so I'm a fan of people working. Sorry if you like to chill, but look at this fucker's open. Oh my God, market's open. So did I get out? Did I make that call? Did I get out right? No, it's going to tank now. Watch. So here, let me try this rewrite. Okay, now it's too greedy. I got to cut back a 0. So it's going to be set to 2,000. All those drops I wrote, you're going to have to add 2 zeros to it. I'm seeing 3 zeros after the decimal point or a comma on that. I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at. And this is a small position in here. Now I'm going to put this super close. I'm trying to get picked up on a... I forgot to write... Well, this is... You see, you got to go to the header of this folder is set in D1, so you might want to call this D1 if it's standalone script. I'm trying to organize the things so all you need is this much real estate to drop it. See, now it's getting complicated. I'm adding BC. You can make the whole platform designed for Bitcoin. Okay, here's a realistic scalp, right? You're going to buy down here, and so now you can start dropping these all night long. And go to the daily for, so this, you might want to look for buys only now. So what do you think the psychotic 1300 here, right? Really 1280, right up there that way. Okay, so this is where the threshold was. Okay, they go crushing into history. Any pullback you can find in there is, okay, shit. Got lost the, see these are pivots. Small bodies are pivots. It's that simple. Here's a classic candle you see in textbooks. This the daily symmetrical doji right there. So I would buy anything bounces off this. This is also the apex of a triangle. If you've got this is a triangle, wedge, flag, pennant, fill in the blank. They're all the same. It's all the same thing. One thing you want to be sure of here, though, is when you see a big bar down like this, it's no time to be putting sell stops. Like I was talking in that last video, no time to be putting sell stops because the rule is you got to put a protection buy stop. The volatility is off the charts. It's time to go down to the 4 hour and think about really trade. You're never going to see. You might see this pull back and you might get another blast to 5,000 on this or whatever this number is. You might see that number. It's unbelievable, but you might see it. But stuff's always unbelievable. Krakatoa is supposedly the loudest explosion on the planet that's ever happened. I think it's going to happen again? Here's another triangle. So these are the flags. Look how the market dynamics have changed from people are like, man, I just made so much money. Like anybody that made that trade, they cleaned up. The trend traders are like, holy God. But at this point, there's a guy named Tom Basso. He made a mint in silver, him and his wife, silver. And when market got like this, you realize they were still holding so much here. When it came to here, they blew up their accounts. They bought down here. I think they added. You pyramid into this, and this thing starts to go into this shit, then you're in trouble. You're in so much trouble. You just gave back everything you made from this gentle wave 4, and this would be wave 5, right? Or then maybe this is wave 3. Maybe that's wave 1. This is going to go, of course, people are going to call for this to go like to some psychotic. It won't happen. Because volatility won't let it. All right, take a look at gold. It's not going to happen. Look at gold. So the story of gold, same story. Look at volatility's died out now. That's kind of abrupt change there. I don't have oh, look at this. Is that helping you? Man, when you see that stuff, I'll tell you what, if you can get your brain around that ADX stuff, I met the guy that did ADX. And I tell you what, I went to this, I said, ADX? I said, listen, man, if I got to look down at that ADX, I'm going to need more, I need some refreshments on my liquor cabinet. Can I get a guaranteed stocking? Look at that. go, well, we're using the ADX. See, what we have here is a... Man, if you didn't trade the break out of this dumbass low volatility... See, here's what I'm talking about. You want a simple trade plan? This is it. Mechanical trading. Just ask Mark Douglas. Mechanical trading, man. Small volatility. Put a buy stop. Put a sell stop. At the end of the day, you're up. Look at this cute little... That could be Sunday night here. I'm not sure. But that Bitcoin. So it went flat. And look, it's going up. So damn thing, I took my profits. I'm telling you. Look at that. I almost got filled on that fucking... But the spread, see? Look at that. I almost got filled. If I would have put that a skosh closer... Okay. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Yeah, I can't buy it now, right? So here's what I do. I put a buy limit here. I'm not going to chase it, right? Oh, fuck. I didn't rewrite that one. That's not even going to be. Let's start over. So nice thing about this is if you had to call a broker in the olden days and say, cancel every order I got, they'd tell you to get the fuck out. They're like, you've got one fill. The brokers did not make money unless they got a fill on the order. They never charged you to put a pending in. Can you believe that? So I just felt really guilty calling and saying, oh, can you put a pending? They're like, dude, you don't even fucking, what are you, nuts? They probably wouldn't tell you. We're not going to put a buy limit that low. Here, though, like I said, the BC comics here, wait. So I'm going to buy here and see how that's set up. Now the ratios break even, but that's a logical trade. Same thing here. This is the top that becomes the bottom. I'll be getting stopped out here. So it's a little bit like you're holding the same position. That's kind of stupid in a way. This is why if you are going to place buy limits, you want to place them like this. Then you go flat maybe. Go flat for a while, pick up another ticket. Go flat for a while. But if these are all set at harmonics, and I don't mean those, I'm talking about vertical harmonic. This is what the attempt is by market profiles to compress the market to such a degree that you're finding the bulges of participation. Shit, I'm a key for the delete. So here, if you do a maximum zoom out, now you're looking at where the most. Now this is the record high. It may be the high of all highs, because people move on to dog chain or whatever, dog leash these other Bitcoins, right? This candle's, this party's baked, right? This is done. Now we move on to the next. The crowd goes from MySpace to Facebook. Facebook is so fucked up. Why can't I run my goddamn data feed, recent stuff? You can't have your stuff set. And Zuckerberg, oh, what the fuck? What is with this guy? Why doesn't he just fight every homeless person to his fucking house? What a douche fuck. You know, just because you wrote code and somebody, some ass clowns think it's popular, it doesn't mean you're a genius or even have your shit together. You're just a fucking ass clown that found themselves in the right timing. It's just like this trade here. What if my claim to fame, they called him the Bitcoin trader? Yeah, because I'm so fucking stupid. I open a demo. I don't even trade Bitcoin till last week, right? I just happened to open the platform during a psychotic spike. I could have also traded that same spike down here. It's just so stupid. I could have done this spike. Now look at the range trading that took place in here. And look at this. I'm doing the same thing here, but we're getting into the This is ridiculous. Look at the trade here. You shorted here. You're a fucking genius. And if this was a logarithmic chart, this would have less weight. You know, like a stock chart has less weight to this data because percentage-wise it's not as big. Something like that. Oh, look at this buying wick. Buy limits here. Look at this. Buy limits sitting, pending, waiting to get picked up in the stream. How to get into a uptrend is where people are getting stopped out. You never want to wait for confirmation. Confirmation is bullshit. Counterintuitive trading is how you make money. You like this guy said, you buy low and you sell high. You can't judge what is high, how high is high. You have to get the sizing right on that trade. Now, I sold this originally. I didn't know how I was going to go. Some guy said, well, how are you going to sell up into something with a parabolic? Yeah, okay, we'll just trade very lightly. I didn't blow this account up. I was down 14 million. And if you zoomed in, I sold here. I sold here, it went up another, I think I sold here and it went up another, but I had sell pendings all the way up to here just in case, and I actually couldn't even chart it because it was so bombastic that MetaTrader couldn't do the math on how to size the chart. So if we ever came back to here, which took a long time, right? Who's not buying here? So it's going up now. Well, I'm going to sell now. I'd have to rewrite the sells, but this is what the sells would look like. Previous support, right? For the scalp, at least, we're going to revisit this over and over. The sells have to come in here. From this closing all the way to the wick. So it's a whole zone like this. It's like this. And the thing is that if you see this wick would be your first scalp sell, you place a pending right there and beyond. So you're actually selling all the way up into that. I don't have the sell set. I would just go like this manually. At the moment, right? Just demo because I don't give a fuck. So it was just like, it would look something like this. Now you have to do the math on that. Some guy asked me, well, what's your percentage risk? Well, it depends how much money you have in the account. If you got 40 million in there, maybe 2% is too much risk for you. If you have $40 million, what the fuck are you trading? I don't know. You know, there's a point at which, like, if I just really did this trade and I just made, $48 million, risking, I said, hey, bank loan, I get one of those overnight loans for 14 million, and like I get a loan from Guido, right? And just like, oh, I'll have it back to you like by, in fact, we can get out of the trade. I can do a trade on Sunday. I can cash out into Bitcoin. It'll be on my wallet. I can send you the money, and boom, bada bing. I'll give you 10 million for letting me loan me 14 million for the drawdown, and then we're up. We're both winning. See, these are 1Ks down here in the script. These are pretty big. So why would I put in 4s? I wouldn't. I did that because it's a demo. So it's not complicated. The guy said to me, well, give me a simple plan. Well, here's a simple plan. When the market's going up, run trailing. In low volatility candles, run trailing sell stops. And just get picked up by default. The market proves you right. The market comes in your orders. Just like that Ask Clown did today, put a buy stop up here. Now, it worked here, and you were up on the trade, but you didn't get the fuck out. And you could have gone long here, and you could have gone short here, and you would have lost the difference between those two tickets. Right? If you went long here, and then you went short here, you went long here, breakout, and went short here, you lost this much. If you doubled up on this direction, then you made good money. If you sold new highs, which is this wick, you sold into it, you were long into it. Now you're short too because you got short on the stop and you got short on a limit. Here you had low ATRs possibly to put a sell stop, but maybe you missed it. Here's a low ATR candle. Just put a buy stop and a sell stop. Let the buy stop fill. Same thing here. Buy stop, sell stop. Let the market prove you right. It's not that complicated. I think when people get sophisticated, this is when we have huge problems. Like what hit songs, okay? The thing, hit songs don't have 40 guitar changes. Like, that's called jazz. So people are trying to make money. Jazz never made money. It's not popular enough. You can't get your brain around it. So people bring all this stuff. They bring this, oh, I've got this complicated. The guy, hilarious, the guy sent me a link. This guy, a proprietary indicator. I can't tell you what it is or I kill you. Good Lord, man. Are you fucking kidding me? What a joke. It's a joke, right? You just know, you got to feel these people are fucking joking. Look at this fucking monster hammer. Man. But see, you put a buy stop on that, you got to put a sell stop here. Huge risk. You're going to get whipsawed. If you wait for this baby candle, that's the best risk-reward ratio you're ever going to see. Let the market decide the risk-reward ratio. It's telling you. Give me a small, tight thing. Some guy asked me, hey, what's the trade? I got a doji on the 4-hour. Hedge with tight stops. Get in with tight stops. It's telling you run tight stops and tight profits and some extended profits. Ideally, you're going to get in. You're going to buy three different prices, and each has its unique. One's a 3-to-1, one's a 2-to-1, one's a break even. In simplicity terms, an ultimate contour to the market's real breakout that you foresee is to have them unfold so that you're getting out continually right up into your profit. You're flat at the turnaround and you go the other way. In a perfect world, your order flow should be your order flow, not the fucking market order flow. You can only trade your count. You can't trade the market. Nobody's trading the market anyways. They're trading their belief systems. So, Bill Williams says this. Nobody trades the market. They trade their belief systems. Because the market exists outside of your existence. It doesn't exist because you can see it. Of course, this is probably no surprise that people think in the back of their mind that's possible because of all the shit they've been taught in school. All this Marxist fucking Heraclitean flux shit. Without any concrete, epistemology, how do you know what you know? And like when you buy, if you're trading, you're a loser. Okay? You're not a winner. I'm a consistent trader. What? Consistently losing? You're consistently losing. We all know that. Because you pull the trigger, you're down the spread. You're also not going to see the market turn on a dime and go to your way. So you just have to almost flip upside down everything you've ever been taught to trade. You have to denounce all these security blankets. There is no... The thing that the guy said to me was called the safe trader. There's no such thing as safe trade. I mean, mentally, you can be safe from psychological damage, right? Of never being able to trade again. Like this, my cousin plays hockey, and he got older. People do that. They get older, and he got hurt playing hockey. And he said something like, "Once that happens, you can't play hockey again because now you're going to flinch every time." Yeah, because now that can be psychologically damaged by a bad trade where you lost so much fucking money, and you come back to the market and you're like, holy fuck. Now, you'd have to trade smaller. This is what you always do after you break your leg. You just hop, you don't walk as fast. But life's not about making money. It's about being able to stay alive and make money. So you should be, it should be fun to trade. Because losing does make you feel bad, right? If you're totally broke. But because you lost money and you thought, well, if I would have made that money, the same thing as when you make money and you said, well, I made money and went back and I lost money. You make a tremendous amount of money and lose a tremendous amount of money, right? You can go, I could take this account and make $1 million and I could go blow it up. Just by oversizing and just not really paying attention to the fact you're driving a car that has a throttle that can just, especially if you have leverage, you can go and just hit it and go 1,000 miles an hour. I mean, and if the road's built for 500 miles an hour, it's still dangerous. Imagine a road that's built for 500 miles an hour. This is what you have to imagine when you're trading, is that there's roads out there where the speed limit is 10,000 miles an hour. So you're stepping out into this world where if you're going to drive at night when maybe the speeders are out, you don't want to go driving at night, right? Maybe the news is out, whatever that is. Realizing that some guy made a comment that, the market, if you're in really big and the market does something surprising, it would be against you. If it was in your favor, your tendency to say, well, let's see where this goes. This could be a great trade. When or you're like, I'm just gonna get the fuck out. I typically get out when I see an explosion in my favor because I know, you know what? Right now, the volatility is so high, I need to step back and re-enter. Or wait. Sometimes the market. Did anybody see the Swiss franc drop? So I watched that happen one night. I caught it and woke up to the Swiss franc when they unpegged it. And I'll tell you what, man, I thought my platform was making. I thought it just had bad data coming in, honestly. So I looked at the other broker and realized, no, it's not bad data, it's real. And then I just thought, well, they must have just blown up like half the planet. So this is what how market. But no, the other markets were calm as hell. Well, I mean, anything wasn't the Swiss franc, but. So here, I could have bought here, and I missed that, but I'll sell up into it. Now I could pepper these. I'm not going to get too... I'll just put it on the top of every new high here. This is a demo. I didn't write the script, but I'm just saying, the drops that I made, they would run on Bitcoin, but you're going to have to add 2 zeros. So instead of... Well, especially the volatility right now, it might be a different number. You might want to set this to 1,000. That might be a scalp on a lower time frame. And if you create a buy at the market, now inside here, I still have the zip folder that has double clicks in here that would run on other stuff. What you need to do is double click this T folder inside here, go to the script folder, and now you're going to go and say, okay, now here's where you go and you find the very bottom folder T. So here's the limit drops. Here's the T folder. So I unzip this T folder in here. And it's, these are all double clicks. But you have to rewrite all those too. So, inside data folder. But the thing is, it's better to have, I'm just trading this demo. But it's just funny how these markets are. They're just so dynamic. I can't imagine a robot being, you'd have to retune it every day. It'd just be so stupid. Look at this 4 hour. Now, we could just be on our way to new uncharted highs here. So I'm just going to manually place sell limits up here and just pepper this whole area all the way back for a retest. And if it comes up here, pulls back, I'll probably scalp out. So this is just saving me work. I know I'm going to sell up there anyways. Why would I have to babysit it and look for a stupid-ass candlestick pattern up there? I don't need to second guess myself. I know I want to sell up there. And I know I want to sell up here. So this I could just set it and forget it, right? Just throw orders up here. It doesn't matter. If you're going to trade like that guy traded 150 standard, 1.5 standard lots, you know, I got $150,000. Why don't you just spread it out up here, right? My God, man. God, man. So we're in the trading range down here. Anything that comes into this trap, anything below here, see how the buyers came in like crazy there? This shouldn't be too hard to figure out. If you see a wick, there's a stop below it, or there's a liquidity entry. This huge wick here, if you had placed buy limits like this, and you need to fix the scale here to really see the trade. It looks like this. Your buy limits start here. Boom, boom. These are all your buy limits. You got filled on that wick. Maybe your stop is down here or something. You just scalped the fuck out of this thing on the weekend. I just can't believe this market's open. Pretty hysterical. What a play. And that's another reason why this market is moving. It's the offset. If you're hedging this, I don't even know if this correlates to anything. But the stocks are up. This is up. This is about people escaping you see, you got inflation now. So they have this law at the bank, like if you deposit more than $10,000, you have to report it. And I think somebody said they made it $5,000, and there's been all sorts of people, all sorts of problems there. So since Bitcoin doesn't have a limit, inflation comes along, $10,000 isn't shit anymore. You think the government's going to up the limit of $10,000? I think this came out like 20 years ago. FDI insured. I mean, your Bitcoin wallet's insured, right? You got some I can't even open an account. I need a fucking cell phone. So I don't have a cell phone. I just have a tablet. It's like, you got to hold your phone up to this fucking pattern to do your Bitcoin. I don't have that shit. There's people that take a picture of you holding on to your, like, oh my God, what fucking world am I in? So I remember when you just showed up with, I remember the silver certificates. Anybody see a $5 silver certificate with a blue seal on it? Those are cool. So Bitcoin. Who knew? And here's another reason. See this, this is the monster pivot right here, this doji on the daily. You had to get the hell out or buy there. And you had to buy in limits. So yeah, you got to buy multiple prices. So, like I said, if you own a store and there's an item that you always get, when one supplier's out, you have to go to the next supplier and overpay. Okay? Now you got to go to the high-end outlet and buy that shit and take it back. People do that. I've seen people raid the store up here, the grocery store. I go in there to get some half and half for my coffee. It's all fucking sold out. Some hotel came in and bought this shit. It's not like illegal, right? They clear the shelf. I'm like, oh, where's the fuck? I see a guy with like 40 jugs of half and half. I said, what are you doing? He was, I work at the hotel. I'm like, so you just come and raid this fucking thing? What about us common folk? Just trying to get fucking half and half and get our kitty coffee going. The fuck? Okay, so my Bitcoin update. Bitcoin's a riot, a scream. But you got to be careful now. You got to think about trading 1 hour breakouts. Here, you scalp this, you're up, right? You got to cover that spread. I don't think there's any commissions at this broker. So you got to cover. This is what you got to cover. So anytime you're looking on the chart for entries, don't forget you're going to pay. If you had buy limits here, they didn't fill. You had to have them up into the here, and this one filled though. See, that would have been a perfect fill. This is what you're paying. You only see the bid on your chart. You do not see the ask. So to claim visual back testing here, and you'd put your order in here, realizing you're going to have to scrunch them in a little tight and maybe just buy one at the market for good luck. Here, if you had a buy stop here, yeah, your buy stop's right there, your ask. So you would have got filled here, you'd be long. But you're placing it, you're underwater when it gets filled, right? You realize, people think, well, if I place the order here, you're buying a breakout of a 1 hour chart. That would make sense. So I trade 1 hour breakouts, right? Here's two dojis. You get filled here on the sell, and here we're able to ride that whole thing down. That's a trade. If you traded that big enough, I'm trading kind of small, I guess. I don't even know what how much margin I was using on a 1K, but these are all trades. These are trades. The wick's too big for the ATR, but the doji's telling you it's a market order. We'll put on a hedge. You would have cashed out on your short. See, if you put on a hedge here, you would have made money on the shorts. And the longs possibly. With a tight enough stop, but this is your battle. The spread's your enemy. That's your cost. That's your shipping and handling. If it's no commission broker, you always have to assess that. All right, buy limits here. At previous small bodies, no fill. If your buy limits here, fill. But the ask never made it. You didn't get filled here because the ask is above that at that time. You can tell the sell sides, you can tell if they filled. Because your sell limits here, you can see you would have got filled, but you don't know if you would have got stopped out because the ask was up here when they were filling you on that ticket. Stop had to be above there. And maybe you just barely got stopped out. Now, this is the thing. If you want to swing trade, you're going to run wide stops. If you want to scalp, most people would run a tighter stop. You don't have to if you're sitting there ready to take the all profits key. And so that's, you have to trade a lot to make money. So the reason why you want to be a consistent trader, because we're presupposing that you're going to trade a lot, so you can't keep fucking it up. You can get lucky if you don't trade a lot. You're probably okay, but you don't have to be consistent if you only trade once a year, right? I mean, consistent trading goes along with you're going to trade for a living, so you're going to trade a lot. You have longevity as a trader. You can keep trading. You know how to make it back when you fuck up. So that's the trick. And here you can see the painfully obvious buy limit placements here. This is the support zone. You can't use confirmation. The market will confirm you upon entry. You can't draw a Gartley here. You shouldn't. You're putting your wishes on top of, this is like I said, if you're out trying to get a girlfriend or an F-buddy, whatever they call it, and you cannot have a schematic in your head of what she should be, because she might be somebody you would never guess. At first glance, right, book by its cover. And even, you just never know. You have to leave that open. Because if you're too dialed in, then you're just going to be alone. Which may be the better choice, right? Because you can always run a babe. In this world, that's how it's rigged. Girls aren't running dudes because they're not making all the money, and they really are just, it's a one-way street. Right? That's why girls can't, that's why they don't have penises, right? It's a one-way street. The guy is injecting the girl. And she's the host. The hostess with the mostest. So I hope that helps. Yeah, that's Bitcoin. It's open. You can make money on the weekends. Who knew?